Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with the One Inspiring Woman, and today we're talking about Moonology. Hi, my name is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman. I'm an intuitive psychic medium here in the Sugar Land area. That's just outside of Houston. I work with my angels and guides to assist my clients in many areas of their lives, to bring them special messages from loved ones who have passed, to dialogue with their angels for guidance into their own situation, or to assist them with their own psychic abilities. If you like my content, please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. That's right, March 25th, 2022, we have our third quarter moon in the sign of Capricorn, and this is going to be a really good one. So we have our third quarter moon is all about finishing up our new full moon stuff of like, what do we want to get rid of or what isn't working? We're still kind of working through that maybe at this point at that third quarter moon, but then it's also, we're already starting to look at like, what is the new moon? What is the new moon going to bring into us? What is the new? What is that going to bring to us? What is that new energy that's coming in? And kind of amplifying that, kind of like starting to think about it. This is a really good time to really start thinking about that, because our Capricorn energy kind of adds this, develops this strong structure, kind of like focusing on tradition and what we've always done, or our responsibilities are, these are, mom always does this and dad always does that and I always do this part. But looking at it a little bit differently, is there changes or obligations that can change? Is it time to set new healthy boundaries? Like we've kind of let the boundaries that we used to have kind of fall apart, and now we need to set up some new traditions of these are the way we're going to do this, or this is how we're going to ask this, or this is what we're going to do when this happens. I was talking to a friend the other day, and we were talking about it, and his kids, naughty kids, were supposed to contact their mom and let them know that they were going to be going to friends' houses instead of her picking them up, and they didn't call. And that was their traditional way of doing things. Like they would text their mom afterwards of kind of like where we're going, and they didn't do it. All three of them didn't. So mom went and sat at school for like 25 minutes, like, where are my kids? Where are my kids? Where are my kids? She's getting angry, upset, kind of frustrated, kind of like, what is the deal? And then she's getting phone calls from, saying like from the kids finally, like telling where they are, and she's frustrated. Dad's upset. Why aren't you doing communicating with mom and that sort of thing? So this was a really great time for them to kind of sit down under this Capricorn quarter moon and kind of, this isn't working. So what do we need to do? What do we need to change or modify or fix so we get the communication that we require? Because we require knowing where you're at when you're not at school. Kind of who's friends, you can go to your friend's house, it's not a problem, but we want to know who's friend, which house are you at? When are you coming home? When are they dropping you off, or am I picking you up? So kind of that kind of energy with it. And it really made a difference for them. And it was just a couple of days ago, and it was like, this finality of it, of yes, we can make new choices and change how we've been doing things. So let's add some angel card energy to this third quarter moon in the sign of Capricorn. This one's the first one coming up. This is all about serenity. A lot of times people think when we have a conversation, or we're kind of talking about responsibilities and obligations and how this is all going to work out, or even setting healthy boundaries, people are like, oh my gosh, that isn't serenity at all. It really is. When you give everybody a voice, when you give everybody a chance to change the rules or talk about them or what doesn't work for them, it does bring serenity, because it gives everybody a voice. It gives everybody an opportunity to say, yes, that's what I want. No, this isn't working for me. So how can we change this or modify this? That's the really cool part about it. And it does bring serenity and peace to the family, to know who's picking you up, where are they picking you up at, what friend's house are you going to, when are you coming home? All of that information is amazing and can bring such amazing insights to the family. And when you talk about it, it brings us peace in this new level Let's see, this one is romance, and this can kind of clear up a lot of issues. It's one of those, when you're dealing with romance in this area, when you're talking about things that don't work for you, is there something in the romance department that you would like to see more of or less of? What is it that you do like? What is it that you don't like? So many times we kind of like, we don't want to talk about it, like just don't say anything and just kind of let it slide by the side. When you give it a voice, when you go, I don't like when you do this, or I don't like when you do that, it's giving yourself a voice, setting healthy boundaries and rules for yourself, but it also tells your partner, this is my boundary. Respect it. Respect my boundary. Respect what I'm asking you to do. Respect the decision that I've made about me and my body and what I do and do not like. And that brings more romance in, because then you're not worried about maybe they're going to touch me in the wrong spot, or they're going to touch me in the wrong way, or that didn't feel comfortable. It's one of those, it gives it all a voice, which is amazing to do. This one is popping forward. I have two popping forward. We'll see. Enchantment. Look at it like a child. When a child usually has a conflict, usually they're right away to find a solution, right away to, give it a voice. How do I fix this? How do I deal with this part? And giving it a voice. I've been around some young kids recently, and when they were having a problem, it's like, hey, I don't like that. Immediately, hey, I don't like that. And then they talked about it and like, I don't like when you take my toy away. You should ask first. Okay, so now we're setting some healthy boundaries. And as soon as they did, it brought serenity and peace and this new level of just having a great time and playing with things differently and being able to feel like all of their voices got heard and everybody got to say something and everybody got to voice something that they liked or didn't like. That's the best part. Guardian angels. Guardian angels love when we set some good rules with them and some good healthy boundaries with them. That's awesome. That is one of the fun, best parts of life, is when we set healthy boundaries, not only for ourselves, but our angels and guides. And a lot of times when I tell people like, you should use your angels and guides for all kinds of things, a lot of times they're like, oh, I'm just going to give them carte blanche. No, they require boundaries and limitations, and they have boundaries that they have to uphold. You can't just go, hey, anything that you want to take care of or anything you want to do. Now, there are times when they can step in there and kind of over, if it's life or death or something else, like something major, they can. But if it's just carte blanche, you have to live your life. It's free will, and you have the choice to work with things or not to work with things. That is the most important part for you to understand. It is your life. It is not up to your angels and guides to give you boundaries and limitations. It's up for you to give them healthy boundaries and limitations. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.